Hello, my name's Connie Book and I serve as Elon University's president. On Monday, January 17th, we celebrate Martin Luther King Day across the country and here on campus with several events. And then additionally, on Tuesday, January 18th, we are participating in the Kellogg Foundation's 6th Annual National Day of Racial Healing, a nationwide effort that's focused on moving our nation forward through understanding and healing. Today, I'm joined by Carla Fullwood, Director of Inclusive Excellence, Education, and Development. So Carla, first, thanks for being with me to talk about this for our community. Can you tell me a little bit about the Kellogg Foundation's goals? What were they thinking in establishing a day like?
Yes. So the goals were really focused on what's our efforts towards recognizing racial healing, recognizing the past historical issues around racism, and what are the current contemporary effects for today. How do we rally as a community to recognize that, but most importantly, work towards transformative change?
So I know several cities and campuses participate in the National Day of Racial Healing. What are some of the activities happening around the country on that day?
Yes, so it varies, but the important thing is around relationship building, folks coming together as a community, rebuilding communities, and engaging in conversation, dialogue that's centered on truth telling, centered on, again, this idea of racial healing and learning from each other, and most importantly, how are we continuing conversations as communities around change in our respective communities to work towards racial equity and racial healing.
One of the things that I'm really proud of at Elon is our mission embraces a statement, respect for human difference. And so our students being engaged in respectful difference, listening to understand, seeking to understand, I think is critical. And so I appreciate that the day of racial healing is focused on really listening and understanding and learning from each other and thinking about the future. So has Elon planned a series of events for the day? How are we celebrating?
Absolutely. So we're beginning with a special coffee gathering at noon, and this is in collaboration with our Center for Race, Ethnicity, and Diversity Education. So in front of Alamance, there'll be performances with melanated melodies, and there'll be some opportunities to engage in conversation. We'll have cards with prompts where folks can engage in conversations in small groups or in one-on-one conversations, and also engage in some social media conversations by sharing their reflections around what racial healing means to them or what their racial healing looks like. And we're inviting folks to include their reflections on social media with some hashtags around how we heal or healing at Elon. Later in the afternoon, there'll be a walk for racial healing where we'll meet in front of Alamance building again and walk to Lakeside. And during the walk, we'll invite folks again to engage in conversation, to engage in reflection with each other, or maybe just silent reflection in honor of what racial healing means. At 5 o'clock at Lakeside, we'll have a How We Heal dinner. And the intention behind that dinner is to deepen the conversation. How are we gathering around tables based on different identities to not only engage in conversation, but we'll have guides to really engage in what are the tangible strategies that we can start thinking about here at Elon to engage in racial healing? And what may be some things that we can consider not only on the 18th, but after the 18th to continue to engage as a community?
It sounds like an exciting day. Now, I know people who know Elon know that in January, about 1,000 students, faculty, and staff are not here on campus, that they're all over the world studying abroad. So are we thinking about how they might join in the day of reflection?
Absolutely. So social media is definitely one where we're going to invite folks to share again their reflections, share their responses to these prompts. But very similarly to how other communities are engaging, whether you're abroad or whether you're on other satellite, the satellite campuses, the law school or other places, talk to someone else. Share, what does racial healing look like to you? Engage in conversations, asking those questions about what are folks' experiences around race and race relations. We also invite folks to think about what may be, new books, films, documentaries to deepen your understanding around the history of race in the United States and what may be some current effects of race and racism that you can continue to engage in conversation. So there's plenty of ways to acknowledge the day. And we recognize that racial healing doesn't happen in one day and in a vacuum. And so we invite folks to deepen their reflection and continue conversations after the 18th as well.
It's really helpful. I think one of the things I enjoy so much about being a citizen of the United States is the richness of our country and the diversity of our country. And so I look forward to participating in the day. And I like the forward that Kellogg has embraced and a forward look. Like, what can we do about going forward and have these conversations really thinking about what next, right?
Absolutely.
Right? How do we build a stronger community together? So
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks for being with me and thanks for sharing about
Thanks
what
for
Elon's
having me.
Yeah.